This is a legal document reaction video. I finally spoke to the paralegal at the law firm representing the man who attacked me, who works for the Seaside, Oregon Parks District. And I tried to call, and the lawyer wasn't in. I tried to call again, and he wasn't in again. I asked for voicemail. She said he doesn't have it, and that she could take a message. So we talked. And I think maybe we talked too long, and I think I got the feeling the whole thing makes her uncomfortable too. And I said that I'm glad I'm talking to her because it is difficult to speak to men about sexual assault, and it's very uncomfortable. And that I've done it, I've talked to the detectives, and I've talked to these various people, but it doesn't get more comfortable. So, to be on a bright side, I thought about summarizing my conversation with Mary Blake. She made some kind of, well, for one thing, I was at the ocean, so it was really hard to hear and maybe the wrong time to call. Very blustery and amazing ocean. She's like, I can hardly hear you. And she said that something about women are not putting up with this anymore, and that's positive. And I don't know why I'm calling her, because I feel like she was the former director of the Parks District. I've been told she wouldn't put up with this, that she would run it a lot better. And I told her I kept trying to go to the board meetings and that the board members just bullied me in the meetings and said derogatory things, and that I had asked my attacker to get them under control, that bullying me was just too much. That's too much. It's not the point. It's hurtful. She was like, no, don't contact him. And I think maybe that's partly because she doesn't want me to be hurt, or she doesn't want me to be ensnared in anything. And I said, yeah, I understand. That was overly optimistic of me. I was delusional that he would know how to apologize or know how to curtail any additional abuse. So I would almost say it wrecked my day, but I kind of got control of it and started to realize that, for one thing, I had to read the language a lot more clearly. And here's the portion that is really significant and telling. It says, and this is regarding, I put in a bar complaint about his discovery abuse, where he's trying to gain all this extremely private information just because I was sexually attacked by his client. So he wants to gain a bunch of private. That's not how sexual assault works. You gain access to someone's body by force and deception and violence. You don't then also gain access to their medical records and their private files. It would be too, it would encourage assault if that was how sexual assault encourages people to, is like a form of a data breach. The data breach begins with the assault and then it moves on through. This is why I think this lawyer is malpracticing, Christopher Palmer at Coast Family Law. But Gearhart. Liz Moore is the lady I talked to, his assistant. I haven't talked to them because what they're doing is reprehensible and I won't work with them. But anyway, on March 18th, you informed Oregon State Bar of your desire to appeal regarding my allegation that he used abusive discovery tactics. And he says that due to my appeal, this matter remains pending with general counsel. That's good. I mean, that could just be bureaucratic. And then he talks about, okay, he dismissed me from a deposition. I never asked for a deposition, and I was never compelled by a court to give a deposition. If the judge wants me to, I'm willing to talk for hours in the courtroom. No problem with the court reporters and transcript. But this oh, come to my little private office where I can intimidate you stuff. No. I don't fall for that. So anyway, please understand dismissing you from attendance at the deposition. Such condescending language, as if he has a right to my body, my mind, or my presence. did not release you of your obligation to produce documents request. But I haven't been ordered by a court to provide those documents, so I don't know that the judge is going to say, oh, you wouldn't give him your giant suitcase. I told the investigating detective, Hanson, well, what if I just show up with everything? And I'm like, here, you can have it. I have nothing to hide. It's more of a principle thing and a Fourth Amendment violation thing. And this sense that I finally broke through with this paralegal lady, though, that, okay, she basically says, oh yeah, well, it could be under a protective order, so your abuser doesn't have access to your information. And I was like, you guys are not getting this. You're asking for a lot of invasive information, and you want to put that in the hands of my abuser? And it's like, yeah, if you know that a protective order could be offered, why aren't you offering that from the outset? Oh, because you want to intimidate me, breach my privacy, and hand it over to an abusive person who's assaulted me. So he says, and while I've attempted to allow the bar an opportunity to complete the review of your appeal by filing motions to postpone this matter, I fear this request to postpone may be denied by the court. As such, I have no choice but to move forward with my request for discovery and prepare for our upcoming hearing. And I was like, oh wow, okay, you're finally getting it, that the judge is probably sick of your delay strategy. And at this point, the attorney seems to be more concerned about his bar review. And I'm not. That's his problem if he lawyers like this. If I were, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't understand why an honesty is the best policy is not applicable in all cases. Just show up and be honest. And showing up is a lot. It would take a lot of guts to show up. And it's taken a lot of cowardice to come up with 4 months of delays. And see, as of this date of this letter, my office has not received any of the documents requested. If my office does not hear from you by the close of the business day, May 24th, I will take further action, which may also include filing additional documents with the court. I felt like telling him, file all the documents you want. You can file a motion saying, I am a foolish lawyer, and I'm sure the judge will agree. With regard to the upcoming hearing, enclosed is a motion to continue hearing and a declaration of counsel in support of motion to continue hearing, continue meaning delay, which have been filed with the court. Also enclosed is a proposed order to continue hearing and notice of proposed judgment or order. And I believe some of it's just completely familiar. And this is exactly, he just reprinted what he sent me in February. And then he just sent me a repeat. He sent me more stuff about my bar complaint, which I was just kind of like, okay, thanks, because, I had a good point there. And then his final thing is basically he wants the judge to delay from June 14th, even though the Oregon state law gives you 30 days for a stalking order finalization hearing. So it's just like, I think in a way I'm like, are these people misogynists who don't believe that there should ever be a thing called a stalking order? Are you trying to circumvent? Push to escape any accountability. I get it. And this motion is made in good faith, he says, for the reasons attached in this declaration. And it's the same thing he filed. Let's see, we'll read it. It's sort of like scrambling to save his face. His motives are mixed because I don't think he totally has. Here's a certificate of service. And then here's the thing where he wants to have an order to continue hearing. And calling them, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But towards the end of it, I gave Liz Moore just a very I'm very sorry that this unfortunate events have whatever, something. I'm sorry that this is, you guys are having to represent someone in these circumstances. I wish very much for his recovery and that he's not able to re-victimize anyone else. I look forward to seeing you. I asked her if she would be in court. She said yes. I said I look forward to seeing you, and I understand you're doing your best. It's almost like, yeah, I understand that you're providing counsel, but overall, I think the whole system's unfair when victims of assault do not have. I mean, I have myself, and I'm smart, but I don't have. And I've got these various lawyer friends who chat me up and support me and email me sometimes, but I have no coordinated legal team. But I think this is a good example of how just because a lawyer is going to take your money doesn't mean they're going to do a good job. And I'm not my assailant's advocate, but I don't think that, I think these people have underhanded him so much that I believe they are disadvantaging him in the court by making it appear that he is cowardly, has something to hide. His lawyer's conflict of interest is now focused on protecting his license and kind of shielding himself from blame. So I don't think they're doing a good job, and that this is a very simple matter. I'm asking for a very simple thing. Stay away from me. Don't ever touch me or assault me again. And leave me alone and don't harass me online. And that's pretty simple. He's already admitted to attacking me, so I mean, I think he should just show up, accept his order, and maybe throw in a sorry, and then be a man and not be cowardly and not hide behind these attorneys. But I have to realize these attorneys would not even have this work if I hadn't made my claim. They got this job. This is what they want to do with it. It's just, I think it's fluff and puff. And I think we might get to the real meat of the story if we ever get to court. And I'm not sure what I should file. That's what I have to think about this weekend. Should I file something? They seem to be very... What I was able to reaffirm to Liz Moore, though, is no, I don't want to email Chris Palmer. No, I feel traumatized by dealing with a male lawyer. I do not want to deal with a male lawyer about a male assault. I am re-traumatized. This is, I said, from a woman's perspective. I hope you can understand this. So I think maybe I got through to her because I just felt this pain in her voice, and I felt the way she just kind of froze up and became robotic. Like, well, you can email Chris Palmer, you can email Chris Palmer. And it's like, these men are traumatizing even their own workers by failing to have any courage to stand up for what's right, which is an end to violence against women.